Here we go with the first system of the season. Alberto, subtropical storm named at 11 o'clock this morning. It's going to work its way up into the Gulf of Mexico and track to our west as we go through the holiday weekend. Although it's to our west, remember we're on that wet side of the storm, so we're going to see rounds of heavy tropical rains as we go through the weekend. There is that possibility in some of these bands, exactly just depending on exactly how they set up. There's a possibility of some low wind possibility of seeing some tornadoes with this. We'll have to watch for that, how everything develops as we go through the weekend. And just because we have this tropical system, tropical storm working its way up into the Gulf of Mexico, the tides, they will be higher in that risk of rip currents along the coastline. There it is, the enhanced satellite loop of subtropical storm Alberto. A lot of deep convection with this system, and you can already see how some of this moisture is kind of streaming up over the southern part of the state. Now, the hurricane reconnaissance plane scheduled to fly down to this later on this afternoon. And that's when we'll really start to get a good idea of the exact structure of this storm. They take that information, they plug that into the computer models, and that will help to fine-tune the forecast as we go through the coming days. Latest coordinates 19.7 degrees north, 86.8 degrees west. Top winds right now are at 40 miles an hour. It's moving to the north-northeast at 6 miles an hour. Once it moves up into the Gulf of Mexico, the lighter wind shear, waters are warm across the central Gulf of Mexico, so we do expect to see more intensification. Could gain more of the tropical characteristics, so it would become a tropical storm. Winds 60 miles an hour by Sunday, heading towards Monday up to 65 miles an hour. And there's still that possibility this could become a low-wind Category 1 hurricane prior to making landfall, but still we're talking about heavy rains, especially for us. The winds are going to be pretty isolated right towards the center of the storm, and then you just have to watch for just how much rain falls with this system. Computer models, they're very tightly clustered, which gives us pretty good confidence in this forecast over the next several days. Remember, we have had a lot of rain through the month already, so any additional rain on top of that is going to cause some issues because we are expecting quite a bit of rain from this system. Now, the European and the GFS both in very good agreement over the past couple of days. You can see they're basically sitting right on top of each other as far as the forecast, and that forecast does bring a lot of deep tropical moisture, a lot of rain across state. Now, certainly it's not going to rain all the time, but when we get some of these bands that work their way through, it could get pretty heavy. You look at the rainfall tallies over the next 7 days, and it's pretty unusual to see the entire state covered, where we could see anywhere from about 4 to 7 inches of rain across the state as we go through the next several days.